Ngajinu Nilawal and Polina, Ngayu Mardoowarra Manan, Nga Mandajara Nyigan and Nga Nyigan and Anga, Mabu Ngimbi, Bloodwood, Bloodline, Landline, Nguru, Mabu Ngurinyan Nganga, Mabu Ngurinyan Buru, Mabu Ngurinyan Blood. Good morning. First of all, I'd like to pay my respect to the bloodline and the songline of this country that holds the memory of this country. Thank you to the young people that danced and welcomed us into this special place. It is a bit of a miracle that I stand here as an Indigenous woman, and this is the first time I've been to court representing myself. What I want to say today is I stand here as a guardian of the Fitzroy River, the Mardoowarra. What I want to say is that we have a law, a first law, called Wallangari law. That song is only sung by the men, but we as the women are the guardians for the river. And so what we say is there is much that we as Indigenous people can share in terms of our experience of colonisation. Because what we see before us is a pedagogy of oppression, and I have done much work around not only the pedagogy of oppression, but understanding the conflict paradigm that comes with colonisation. If you know the writings of Paulo Freire, you will understand where I'm coming from. What Paulo Freire talks about in the pedagogy of the oppressed is that what we're talking about is a conflict paradigm, a paradigm of cultural invasion, a paradigm of disunity, manipulation, conquest, divide and conquer. And what we as Indigenous people are saying is that this is a lived experience. There is much that we can share with you all in regards to what we are saying as Indigenous people around the world, is that all of us, human and non-human, need to move to the cooperative paradigm of cultural synthesis, of unity, of organisation. And so for us, the Mardoowarra is a very living system. We talk about Lian, which is the life force, the energy of the country. The old people teach us how to read the country, but we also understand the country is reading us. And so all of these things that combine to bring us into contemporary Australia is these things called laws. And on my country and in the Kimberley, we had a law called the Wunan. And the Wunan was about coexistence, cooperation, about trade, about economy, about marriage, about learning about how to live in harmony with nature. And so for us, what we're saying is that not only the world, but fellow Australians need to open your hearts and your mind to a knowledge system that is so profound, it is overwhelming. And what we do as Indigenous people is we stand here, we open our hearts, we share our lived experiences, and we say, come into a world that we can teach you so much. What we say is that we have a law of relationship, a law between human and non-human, a time that is timeless. We talk about it not in a linear progression, but in a circular storytelling way, that my ancestors who stood before me and those that are coming after us, like my children, will carry the story, carry the songs. So what we're saying and what I'm saying is the Mardoowarra is a living system. It was created by the rainbow serpent, Yungurugu. It is a whole system from source to sea. You can't cut the head off and expect that it will still swim by the tail. No, it is integrated. And so what we're saying is that this is a time where we need to bring collective wisdom. It is not only about law, it is about economics, it is about governance, and it is about developing an adaptive system to change, to be responding in the past, the present, and the future. So the word that I would like to leave with you is Bugaragara. And Bugaragara is not the dream time. It is the beginning of time. But most importantly, it is the past, the present, and the future which is fused into this moment in time in which we as human beings need to act. And so with this collective wisdom, we are gathering those people who, what my old people would say, who will stand for the river. Who will stand for the river. And so what we're saying is that we have other people standing with us today, my friends and now my family, Michelle Lim and Dr. Vic Semenuk, and they will also bring their expert witness. So as I said, I stand here with a memory in time of the Fitzroy River, the Mardoowarra. And some people may say it's 50 million years old, but we say it is Bugaragara from the beginning of time. And so what I'm asking the people, the courts to do is to stand and recognise that this is a living system. It is an integrated system that needs to be kept whole. It has a right to life because it is the river of life. It is a sacred river. It is responsible not just for human life, but non-human beings. And so Wālangari law stands strong today. It is the only law. And what we're saying is we need to revert back to the principles of Wonan.
Dr. Blingo, and we respect wholeheartedly your capacity on behalf of the river, the important river. Can you tell us some of the concerns you have about the river at present and some of the things that happen in the area that are impacting on the river's as it has done for so long?
I think one of the things I'm saying is that it's not about deconstructing law, it's about adding value from all forms of laws. And so one of the things that we have, and I've said quite publicly that I believe that native title is a very weak law, it's a very racist law, it's a very oppressive law, but it nonetheless is a law of this land. And so what we have is that it took us 15 years to get native title. And so what I'm saying is that native title is part of the process of divide and conquer, of manipulation. So what we are seeing is that the river is trying to be cut up into segments. This is somebody's country, this is somebody else's country, but really, as guardians, as custodians of the river, we all need to work together. So one of the things that what I see is that there is this divide and conquer of trying to separate the tribes along the river, and that must stop. The other point is, we all know that Australia has very, very small amount of land that we can grow food on. We should be protecting those areas that are prime agricultural land. We have had the science that have said, do not look at the north as the next food bowl. It's a finger bowl. We get a lot of water, concentrated period of time, no capacity for storage. Why are we blowing up the Liverpool plains? Why are we destroying the Latrobe Valley? Why are we talking about intensive agriculture on the Fitzroy River? Doesn't make sense to my old people or me. The other point is extensive mining. When you look at the Fitzroy River, you will see that it is covered from the source to the sea with mining tenements. In the Kimberley, we are now being approached with fracking, and what we're talking about is shale gas. Those of you who have a lived experience on the east coast around coal seam gas know that you're going down 500 metres. With shale gas, we're going 3 to 5 kilometres. The science is saying that country is extremely old, it's folded and fractured. We should not be even considering fracking. I was recently in the Mining Warden's Court, which has now stopped a coal mine being built on the Fitzroy River. And so these impending threats are there, but we also have solutions.
And can you please, in that regard, some of the solutions, tell us what you think, what you believe, what you understand should happen in that area in terms of being Mardoowarra scared for properly and resist evolve and thrive.
Yeah. What we are saying on the Fitzroy River is that this is a globally unique riverine system. There is nowhere else on this planet where this type of river system exists. So it's globally unique. So one of the things that we are doing is that we are working with other scientists, we're working with traditional owners, and we are looking at building a culture, science, conservation economy, which is, as my friend Donna Bagner will say, from the forever industries. So we are building these economies that are there, that are sustainable, that have got so much to share with humankind. We have one plant, if we were to talk about bioprospecting, that has got 100 times the property of morphine. It is also a natural antibiotic. So how do we work within the existing constraints of intellectual property right to share what we have with humanity, but have something that is held by Australians and not propagated by Santos? So these are the questions that we have in our mind. We have culture, we have strong elders, we have songs, we have dance, we have ceremony. We can bring you to country to give you a very intimate relationship with the land. So when you sit there and you hug a 2,000 or 3,000 year old Boab, you can feel the energy, you can feel the vibration. My uncle has a camel tour and he says it's a 1,000,000-star rating. So when you lay under the Kimberley skies, you can see this. So what we're saying is that these economies are real, they would last forever, they would be part of the guardianship of the river. So, yes.
Thanks so much, and again, much love and respect for bringing this case on behalf of the
False claims that are being made about Northern Australia being this food bowl. I mean, this has been looked at by CSIRO. About every 10 years, the government asked CSIRO to do a major report on the agricultural potential of Northern Australia, and they came up with exactly the same findings. There's a drought for 7 months of the year. You don't have the soil fertility that you have in southern Australia. There are huge problems with on multiple fronts, but just the natural resources are not there as they are in the southwest and southeast for intensive agriculture. I mean, this has been authoritatively assessed and evaluated multiple times by CSIRO. So, you know, that is certainly very true what you were saying. That very false claims being made about the agro-agricultural or industrial agricultural and export potential of food systems in the north.